My guest today is the most famous farmer British Columbia has ever produced. Honestly, millions of people worldwide watch this guy's videos educating us about farming in BC. Potato Ty's real name is Tyler Heppel, and he's a fifth-generation farmer of potatoes and other vegetables. And while social media is not his job is running a farming operation. He has more than 1 million followers on TikTok and Instagram. He uses his platform to educate people and to advocate for food security and better farming practices and policy. Thank you for joining me, Potato Ty.
So happy to be here.
Now, farming wasn't in the plan for you.
No,
As a fifth-generation farmer, that wasn't where you thought you were heading in your career.
You know, I grew up on the farm, and from ages 5 to 18, I worked there, and we'd consider it almost slave labor.
Yeah, what'd you do?
The worst job was hoeing in the field all day long in the heat, and unfortunately we weren't really involved in management, so by the time all my brothers turned 18, we decided to leave. I was gone from 10 years, so I went to university for 5 years and then went to corporate America. But at the end of the day, I just really felt a lack of purpose. So I decided to come back to the farm for a trial 1 year, and I just fell back in love with it.
Awesome. And this wasn't that long ago, a few years ago?
I've been back for 4 years now.
4 years, okay.
Yeah.
And what's your job? Like, what do you do day to day?
So currently right now, I actually just moved into the president role of Heppel's Potato Corp. So we're one of the largest providers of potatoes and squash here in BC.
Where can people find it? Where do people buy it? It's everywhere?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
So we sell under the brand BC Fresh, which is a co-op of farmers coming together to try to sell some of the best potatoes in Canada.
Okay.
But my day-to-day looks like putting out fires with employees. We got 40 employees working on different sales, trying to advocate too for farming. I post a lot on social media. So it's just a really well-rounded position.
And you do a charity thing every year. This is how I first saw you, called Ugly Potato Day. What is Ugly Potato Day?
Okay, so there's 2 things I noticed when I came back to the farm. The first is that farmland is disappearing at a really fast rate in some of the best farmland. And the second was the amount of produce we can't sell just based on its looks.
Yeah.
Like a potato that's ugly, it still tastes the same as a potato that's perfect looking. And at the same time, we're seeing a massive rise in food insecurity here in British Columbia. So I had started to get somewhat of a following on social media.
Somewhat?
Well, I think at the time I had about 50,000 followers.
Still, 50,000 is a lot.
It is, yeah. And but from that, I launched something called Ugly Potato Day.
Okay.
But what we said is, we put out some bins of potatoes in the front of the farm, and we said anyone can come and grab them, and we had 12 people come out.
Okay.
And I remember feeling quite defeated about that, but I had some good conversations.
Was cool,
it was cool,
yeah.
But 12 people for over 4 hours in the heat. But we had some good conversations, and so we decided to do it again the next week. We had 75 people come out. Then we did it 2 weeks later. We had 200.
The next week?
The next week. Oh yeah,
wow.
we did 6 in the first year. So in the first year we grew it from 12 to 2,000. And now we just did our last event where we had 20,000 people come out in 6 hours, and we gave away almost 500,000 pounds of produce.
Holy moly. I didn't ever see the videos where 75 people came, but the one where you rented out a humongous space and it wasn't just potatoes, there was other stuff?
Well, when we first started, it was just our farm, but then I noticed that this is an issue that goes on all across farming. People have their specific sizes that they can sell to the stores, but the other sizes that are too small or too large, they sit in the coolers and they end up going bad. So it's a way to solve food insecurity, and we had over 25 farms partner. We had carrots, we had potatoes, beets, we had a bunch of fruit too. Pineapples even came out, apples from the Okanagan. It was awesome. It was a full grocery store experience for 20,000 people.
That's amazing. And the cops came a couple years ago?
Well, we tried doing it on our farm, and it was like kind of a grassroots movement, but we got 4,500 people out in our farm, and we shut down 184th Street in Surrey, and the police came, and there's liability issues. So we're like, you know what? So we moved to the Cloverdale Rodeo Grounds, which has way more space.
How often do you do it?
So we do it once a year now in Surrey, but we're also doing it in Kelowna this year. We expect 10,000 people to be out in Kelowna August 1st.
Oh, cool.
We're expecting 30,000 people to be out August 8th in Surrey. And we're going to Calgary this year, and we're expecting 10,000 people out in Calgary as well.
What do you get out of this?
You know what? It just gives you good purpose. Our farm is 100 years old. My grandpa's grandpa, he was the one that started it, but my grandpa was really the one that built it. And he built it on giving back to the community. Yeah. 1 year they would most of their profits would go to be like buying mattresses for orphanages. Another year it would go to building a church. So it's always been a very community-driven farm. So when I came back, this was kind of my way of giving back. And I really feel that as a farm, we've been blessed. And for 100 years, our community has helped us out. And now when our community is in a hard time, it's our turn to help our community out. And it just goes to show why you need to support local, because it's going to be the BC farms that help out the BC people. It's not Californian farming. It's not Mexico farming. It's the farmers in BC that want to feed the BC people.
And are, hopefully.
Totally. That's the goal.
Things are super expensive, and I can see as a consumer, and just as somebody that, it seems like a really fun event to just go to.
Totally.
Like, you bring a bag, you can fill it with all this stuff, you meet all the people, you see the farmers, like, it's awesome. I'm gonna try and come out this year.
Yeah, you should, definitely.
Your grandpa, you talk about him, he's in your videos quite a bit. Arav, here's a clip of, what's his name?
Ron.
Uncle Ron. Grandpa Ron.
No, he is called Uncle Ron too.
His name's Uncle Ron? Okay.
It cost $75 back in 1920. Oblong wheel in here that shakes this up and down and gets rid of the dirt and drops the potatoes there. Now that's an invention.
That's just what he does. There's a saying that every farm needs an old man to keep it organized, and that's my grandpa. He's there every day at 8 a.m. He probably saves us about $1,000 a week in running around getting parts, but you have to put up with many unsolicited 20-minute stories from him.
Oh.
And oftentimes you've heard it 2 or 3 times.
Oh, okay. Well, it's worth it.
You take it with the kids.
Definitely. All right. Thanks so much for joining me, Ty. Coming up next, Nina is at the farmer's market talking to people. Come on, you know what she's talking to people about.